Hello!
Hey guys.
Welcome back.
Welcome to episode 3. Now, today we're going to talk about what a budget even is and what a budget should be, because there's definitely a stigma around the word. You talk about budgeting with people and they get their back up. A lot of people refuse to budget wholesale because they don't want to be told no. They don't want restrictions on what they do with their money. Often not realizing that by trying to eliminate the restrictions, they're just creating more for themselves.
Mm-hmm. I think when we started, we used to feel like budgeting was a restriction, and now we very much look at a budget as a way to empower us and put us in the driver's seat, but it's also like a permission to spend. And it feels really good when you prioritize what it is that you want and you actively save and set aside money for those things.
Yeah, we very much felt restricted in the beginning because we were accustomed to just burning our money, essentially. Whatever we wanted to do in the moment, we just did, which was fine in the moment. It was permissive. It wasn't restricting us at all because we were doing whatever we wanted in the moment, but that automatically restricted us from doing any of the long-term things we wanted to do. We could never take a vacation because we were always dining out, and there's a direct one-to-one correlation there. Literal causation of not enough restriction in the moment completely eliminating our ability to be permissive long-term, which is no good. That's why we budget. We budget for the things we like so that we can do the things we want now and the things we want later.
And one of the things that I hear a lot from clients when they first enter into our space is that they're really sick of feeling surprised at the end of every month. You know, like they get paid and then they sit at the end of the month or the end of the 2-week period or whatever it is, right? Essentially, they're in this paycheck to paycheck cycle. And they're kind of left looking at their bank account like, what the heck happened? You know, like they always feel like they've been surprised by where all their money went. Like they have this feeling of like, I have no idea what's going on. My money comes in, my money goes out, but I don't actually know where it goes. And they feel frustrated because you have goals, you have dreams, you have things that you want to save for, but if you don't have a clear plan for your money and you're not telling it where to go, it's just going to leave.
Money talks, guys, and if you don't tell it what to do, it'll just say bye.
That's right. And so a lot of people are stuck in this cycle, this paycheck to paycheck cycle, combined with this frustration of not being able to hit their goals, but also this feeling of shame and guilt of like, oh man, I'm really bad with money, or oh, I'm never going to get ahead because I can't figure this thing out. And every time they try to budget, it's like this idealistic budget of like, here's my money that comes in, here's my money that goes out for bills, this is what I have left to spend. And that, I think, is like the biggest lie in society, is that that's just like what's taught to us for budgeting. Like that's not a good, accurate way to budget. I mean, it's better than nothing, I guess. It's better than nothing.
It is better than nothing. But I think one of the other things that really catches people up with that too is they'll say, okay, I'm gonna have X dollars a month for groceries. We'll say $500 a month for groceries. And they go grocery shopping for the week and they spend well over half of that. And then they're like, shit, I'm not even a quarter of my shopping done and half of the money's gone. This is a problem. Which makes the budget feel restrictive because, you know, before I started budgeting, I could just buy the groceries I wanted and I didn't have to think about it. Now I'm out of money.
Yeah, it could be very frustrating. And to alleviate a lot of this, we teach this inside of Ahead in 30, which is our 30-day online program that teaches you how to break that paycheck to paycheck cycle. And there's 2 really big things that we want people to do when they come into this program. The first one is your spending analysis.
Yes, you got to figure out where your money goes, because whether it's intentional or not, what you're doing with your money is directly reflective of what your values are, what your personality is like, and what you care about.
Exactly. I think too many people, especially when you're in debt and you're super eager, you're pumped, you're motivated, you're like, yeah, I'm going to make a debt payoff plan. I'm going to have my debt snowball. Cody and I did this, so we know, we've been there.
We looked at the numbers. We were like, oh man, I can be debt free by, a year and a half from now, and then after that, we're going to be putting $2,000 a month into investments, and I'm going to be retired by 35.
But again, the problem was that we were making an idealistic budget. Like in a perfect world, if nothing ever went wrong, this is how much money comes in, this is how much money goes out, and this is what we have left over.
Yeah, if we weren't the kind of humans who got sick sometimes, or got tired, or wanted things, or wanted to do like Christmas shopping.
So the spending analysis is you essentially go back and you look at all of your spending for at least 90 days. If you can do more, great, but do not do less than 90 days. And total up everything you spent on utilities, and everything you spent on groceries, and everything you spent on clothing or shopping or dining out. Put it into whatever categories make sense to you, and then divide that total by 3, because that would be 3 months, your 90 days, and that gives you your average monthly spending. And you will be very surprised, I promise you, you will be very surprised to see where you spend your money.
Yeah. And now part B to this is ask yourself why you put the money where you did, why you did those things with it. Was it just kind of like a mindless thing that you weren't even thinking of? Or are you like us, where we spent a boatload of money dining out, and it turns out that when we really dug down to it, we valued the convenience, we valued the novelty of having someone else cook for us, not having to clean. A lot of times the way our lifestyle was structured, we weren't home enough to cook, and by the time we were home, it was like, I'm exhausted, I'm burnt out, I'm brain fried, I'm not cooking anything worthwhile, and I don't want to eat crap. I want to eat something that tastes good and is going to fill me up. So, let's order a pizza, let's get burgers, let's go, out for wings or something.
And again, to use Cody and I as an example, because, we started this podcast talking
We're very familiar with our example.
Well, we started this podcast with, how budgets can feel restrictive. So had Cody and I not done that spending analysis, we wouldn't have realized how much money we were actually spending on dining out. And had we not dug deeper and understood the why that drove that behavior, we wouldn't have been able to adjust things the way that we did moving forward. And essentially what we wound up doing is saying, okay, we value the convenience of not having to cook. We enjoy going for drives and having something to eat in the car while we're on a drive. So what did we do? We changed the way we bought our groceries. We started buying things at home that were convenient and easy to make, as well as stuff that we could bring on the road with us, like, more pop, more snacks, more trail mixes, stuff like that.
I mean, for me, like some pepperoni sticks and a bag of Spits, and I am good to go. I could drive across the country on that.
Yes, and so what wound up happening is, yes, we did restrict our spending on dining out, but it didn't feel like a restriction for us because our need and our value of quality time and convenience was still being met somewhere else. And that freed up money in our budget because now we weren't spending so much on dining out. If that freed up several $100s a month that we could then redirect to other things that we wanted to spend on, like getting gym memberships or taking a road trip to Canmore, or just, spending more quality time together. At the time we were living in the RV outside of the city, and so we would go and stay a night at a hotel every time before Cody had to go to work for another shift. We would drive into the city, stay the night at the hotel. We would order our takeout then. So it was always, we were meeting our needs and our wants and giving ourselves permission to spend in other areas, and we didn't feel guilty about it or stressed about it because we had a very clear idea of what our money was doing.
Yeah, it's one of the things that gets overlooked. It's an either or thing. I can either burn the money now or have it later. So if I'm choosing not to burn it now, it is available to me later. And a lot of people don't ever make that connection. They get stuck on the I can't now. I can't, I'm not allowed, the budget says no, without ever looking at the things that the budget allows them to do.
Exactly. If you're feeling resentful or stressed out, I want you to try and reframe it. Instead of saying, I'm saying no to this, I'm restricting my spending in this, I can't do this. By saying no to these things, what does it allow you to do? Right? So for Cody and I, by saying no to dining out all the time and restricting our dining out, that now meant that we could say yes to the road trip to Canmore.
Yeah.
Or to going to see a movie.
The nice restaurants. And then, the good hotel and the nice nights out, and not the artery clogging fast food 4 times a week.
Yes, exactly. So your spending analysis, and then doing a budget based on that spending analysis that supports your current habits, your lifestyle, as well as keeping in mind the lifestyle you want to transition to, and who you are as a human, and your behaviors and your habits.
And be realistic. Be honest with yourself. Like, actually honor who you are as a person. Don't just set the goals and say that your values are the things that you think sound good. Be honest about it. You're going to do far more for yourself and ultimately for whoever else is going to be impacted by your budget and coming abundance than if you try and do what you think sounds good and resent it the whole time.
And just to touch on this too, there's so much more that goes into this. And if you're listening to this podcast, you're watching this on YouTube, and you're thinking like, yeah, I would love to feel confident about my finances, but I don't even know where to start. Or you're really feeling stuck in that paycheck to paycheck cycle, we invite you to join Ahead in 30. This is
Absolutely.
literally the 4 biggest things that Cody and I had to do to get our finances on track. And this is the foundation that led us to paying off over $100,000 in consumer debt. It's what let us have me quit my job and Cody take less work so that we could travel and live in an RV for a little over a year.
It's allowed us to create relative stability within a very feast or famine industry, because what I do for my day job is not a steady, predictable situation. It's project-based.
And it provided us the opportunity as well to, when we were ready to do so, to start investing in ourselves and into mentorship and to actually start building a business and the expenses that came with that. Your money and having a good, strong financial foundation is the start to opening so many doors for yourself.
I think for most people, barring actual, like, legitimate acts of God, I think you'll find that well above 90% of a person's problems are related to the lack of either time or money. And if you get your money figured out, then your money's figured out. You have the money to do the things that will solve the money problems. And because your money's fine, you can use it to buy the time to fix the things that are time problems. Whether that means cutting back at work and taking a lower stress job, or taking extended time off to help family, or whatever the case may be.
And if you're new around here, Cody and I are all about teaching you how to make more money and how to get more time.
Yes, the best way to win with finances is to live on less than you make, and the best way to do that is to curtail your spending and increase your income.
Yes, and Cody and I love to find ways to do that.
Yes, that's kind of our whole jam.
Both for us and for you.
Absolutely. Maybe we'll leave episode 3 here and see you guys on the next one.
Yeah, we're going to go pick up our kiddos from daycare. I will leave links down in the show notes or the description on YouTube if you're watching this on YouTube. You can connect with us on Instagram, join us inside of our membership community, Transcend Ordinary.
Yeah,
or
like,
sign
follow,
up.
Subscribe, comment, sign up for Ahead in 30 if you want to actually demystify your budget and get control of your finances. Sometimes you just need some outside perspective to help figure out how to actually personalize it to you.
Yes. So that's it for today's
That's it,
video.
guys. Have a good one. Thanks for coming along. We hope you enjoyed yourself. Like, subscribe, follow, comment, sign up, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.